What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So right now we are in the middle of probably one of the biggest blizzards in the last 20 some odd years, and we're all just hunkered down in our house waiting for it to pass a little bit so we can go out and clean. So if you hear anything, background noise, it is what it is. I apologize. Everyone's hunkered down, bunkered down in their houses. Anyways, let's get to what we're here for. I'm gonna be going over 5 mistakes that churches make with their audio. Now, they're not in any particular order, so you can decide which one's the worst, which one's the best. I'm sure that all of you have had your experiences with each one of these that I'm gonna mention. So before we get into that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Please consider subscribing. Let's make this channel grow. Let's make this community bigger. And the bigger it gets, the more I can make these videos. So let's get into it. I'm gonna start with number 5. Yes, I have them here on my phone, so I don't forget them. Number 5 is speaker placement. I cannot count the amount of times that I have seen churches with their speakers not placed in the correct order, and then after the service, they'll come ask me questions, talk to me about their sound system. And the number one thing that comes up is, guess what? Yep, you said it, feedback. So the reason why you're getting feedback is because the speakers are not placed in the right positions. For example, I want you guys to raise your hand in the comments. How many of you have walked into churches and you see the speakers all the way in the back, where the stage is or where the altar is, up in the corners? I'll give you a second to go down into the comments and raise your hands, because I'm sure there's plenty of you. Yep, I see you. So yes, you should never, for any intents and purposes, unless you have no other choice, like I wouldn't even know what the other choice would be, but unless you can't, never, and I mean never, ever, place your speakers behind your microphones. Why is that? Let's think about it for a second. What comes out of the speakers? Sound. What's connected to your mixer? You got microphones, you got keyboards, you got a drum set, which is probably the loudest, which is definitely the loudest thing in the church. You got guitars, possibly electric and acoustic. You got a bass. You might have another like auxiliary keys player. So there's a lot of stuff that's coming out of your speakers. So the sound that's coming out of your speakers is going straight out into the congregation. And if your microphone, the worship leader's microphone, the preacher's microphone, whoever's in the front leading, has a microphone, and that microphone is in front of your speakers, where do you think that sound's gonna go? And if that sound is going into that microphone and it's looping like this, so it's going out, in, back, out, in and back, out, in and back, guess what that's gonna cause? Feedback. So that's probably one of the biggest issues that a lot of churches have, and mainly, you know, like the smaller churches and medium-sized churches, they do it probably for space, but I don't recommend doing that regardless of the space or whatever. If you can find a way, maybe mount them on the wall, put them somewhere where they're out of the way, but have them at least parallel or in front of slightly, or completely in front of, if you can help it, the people that have the microphones in their hands. That'll eliminate probably more than half of your feedback issues. All right, so now let's get into number 4. And number 4, I put not investing in good quality gear. Now, notice how I didn't say investing in cheap gear. I said not investing in good quality gear. Just because something is low in price doesn't mean it's not good quality. So when I say good quality gear, I don't mean expensive gear. There are ways where you can buy good quality gear that is not gonna break your bank. It's not gonna cost an arm and a leg, and it's gonna sound good and it's gonna get the job done, especially for small churches. For the love of all that is good in this world, if you're gonna buy gear off of Amazon, please check the reviews. Please check its specs. Check how good it is before you buy it. get recommendations, ask somebody before you buy. Especially, I'm gonna talk specifically, I'm gonna pick an example. Microphones. If you're gonna buy microphones off of Amazon, you gotta make sure that you gotta check the reviews. Number one on Amazon when you buy anything on there, check the reviews. A lot of the microphones that they sell on there, you'll be like, oh wow, 40 bucks for a wireless microphone set. There's a reason why it's 40 bucks. Those are probably not going, they might work. I'm not gonna say that they're not gonna work. They'll probably work in your church. They're not gonna last long, and they're not gonna sound the way you want it to sound. You can't expect high quality production from low quality gear. It is what it is. So please, and that not only with microphones, also with your cables, also with mainly people buy things off of Amazon. The main thing people buy off of Amazon is like accessories, right? So like cables, you might get a wireless microphone set off there. You might get a wireless in-ear set off of there. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying do your research before you purchase. That's all I'm saying. All right, so mistake number 3 that a lot of churches make with their audio is not learning how to mix properly. A lot of the times churches will complain about, oh, this sounds muffled, or this sounds too bright, or this sounds like this, and this sounds like that, and it's not the way I want it to sound. So the things that we mentioned prior could be the case of why it doesn't sound the way you want it to sound. One of the main reasons is definitely the mix. You gotta learn how to mix properly. You gotta understand what each knob means. If you have an analog mixer, if you have a digital mixer, you have to understand what each frequency does in the mix. You have to understand what the level does. You have to understand each and every feature that the mixer has. You can't just go in there and say, oh, the level, I guess I just bring that up. Oh, I guess that's volume. Oh, gain, that's volume. Let's just, oh, it sounds good if let's put that up. No, stop, time out. Look into how to mix properly. There are so many resources, especially here on YouTube, that can show you what each thing means on a mixer. If you have an analog mixer, there's tons of videos on what each knob does and how to use it properly. And if you have a digital mixer, same thing. So many. They got the Behringer Wing, you got the Behringer X Air series mixers, Presonus Studiolives, you got Allen Heath. There's so many videos on each and every one of those mixers to show you exactly how to use them, how to use the effects on the mixers, how to use, where to place your levels, how to do whatever it is that you needed to do. It's on there. You can get books, you can get different resources, there's forums online, so many things, there's classes you can take. You have to invest in that if you want a particular sound at your church. You can't expect to get what you want if you don't learn about how to get there. All right, so mistake number 2 is, and this is a big one, it's not bigger than number 1, but it's a big one. Number 2 is gain structure. The first thing I'm going to say about this is gain is not volume. That's a big mistake that people make about gain. Gain does, just because you bring your level up and it's at a certain point, you're like, oh, I can't really hear anything. And you see a knob that's down all the way, it says gain, and you're like, maybe I should bring that up a little bit. I mean, maybe I should bring that up to where the level is. And you bring it up and now it's louder and you're like, oh, okay, that sounds great. And then you go and you start the service and you start getting feedback, or you start getting weird noises that you don't like. That's because you didn't structure your gain properly. Now, all the other stuff we mentioned is could be part of it too, but this is a big one that a lot of churches make mistakes with. So again, gain is not volume. I'm gonna give you the exact definition of what gain is when it comes to your mixers. So I'm gonna give you the exact definition and then I'll spell it out for you. So gain in a mixer is the initial crucial control that adjusts the input sensitivity of a microphone or instrument, boosting low-level signals to a standard operating level before further processing. It differs from volume by setting the signal's foundation, ensuring a clean, noise-free, and distortion-free signal, rather than controlling the output loudness. All right? Now, what does that mean? So let's put it this way. Gain is the front door to your mixer. So it's the first point of, it's where the amplifying begins, right? So the purpose of it, like I mentioned before, is to bring a weak signal up, right? Mainly with, it depends, some microphones, there's some microphones and some instruments. So for example, there are some microphones, like dynamic microphones, that require you to bring the gain up to get it to a standard operating level so that it sounds good and not too low. And then from there, you can start doing all your EQ and all your effects and stuff. There are some instruments, there are some guitars, some bass, and some keyboards that require a little bit of gain to boost that level to bring it to where it needs to be. Now, there are DI boxes that help with that, right? And you just gotta, it all depends on the gear that you're using. So you need to know what you have before you start moving things and bringing levels up and such and whatnot. So that's gain. I'm not gonna go too much into it because that can be a whole video on its own. Just know that gain is not volume. That's probably the most important thing. All right, so now we made it to the last one. And this, to me, is probably the biggest pet peeve of all. It's gotta be number one. And this mistake has gotta be the biggest one. I think it's the biggest one in my book, to be honest. Number one is microphone handling. Oh boy. So, microphones have something on it that not a lot of people know it actually has. And it's the simplest thing. You know what? Let me go get a microphone. Now I just noticed that my microphone died and this one is about to die too. So let's get into it quickly. Pieces of the microphone. You got your power button, you got your indicator that tells you where the frequency is and how much battery you have, right? This right here at the bottom is where your antenna is, so it can communicate with your transmitter or receiver. With right on top of it, luckily this one I can show you. So this is where the antenna is. I can take this out, that's the antenna. And then over here, right here in this section is your handle. Now, unofficially, it has two handles. You can hold it right here and don't do this to cover the microphone, the antenna. And you could also hold it here without covering the mic capsule. Because when you do this, it sounds horrible. And you drive sound engineers or audio engineers, whoever's in charge at your church, behind the mixer, you're driving them crazy. Don't do that. And then don't say I need more volume. Don't say I need this, I need that. Because the reason why it doesn't sound the way you want it to sound is because you're doing this. Stop doing this. Please, cut it out. So yeah, number one, mic handling. Do yourselves a favor. You want to help out your sound team? Ask them how you're supposed to. You want to make them happy? You don't got to get them coffee. Go up to them and ask them, hey, can you show me how I'm supposed to hold the microphone correctly? I guarantee you're going to make their day. My mic cut out, so now I'm using the mic that's on the camera. Luckily, I put that one on there just in case. So I want to know what you guys think about this list. Am I missing something from it? Can I add something to it? Should I make another video with the other things that you guys are going to put down in the comment that I missed? Let me know down in the comments. Leave a comment. We'll talk about it. If you have any questions about anything about this list, if you have any questions about anything, about gear, maybe something you saw that you're thinking about purchasing, whatever questions you might have, I'll be there to help as best as I can. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that great YouTube stuff. You guys know how it works. God bless y'all. Stay safe. If you're in the East Coast and you're getting obliterated by this blizzard right now, please stay inside, stay warm until it's time for you to, until you can see that it's safe to go out there and actually start cleaning. We're probably gonna be stuck in for like another day. So get comfy, stay warm, enjoy your time with your family, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless. Peace.